This thing I'm very sure that Sakaja is definitely the worst governor Kenya has ever had anywhere in the world, now, in the past, and even in future. He fits in the definition of governor wa majambazi. Why don't we do what they did to Sonko, Waititu, Kawira Mwangaza, and others? This governor, Governor Sakaja, is worse than all of them combined times 50. This is the governor who sets garbage on somebody's compound and also sends goons on the streets. To him, so long as the big boss man is on his side, hustlers can go to hell. You can see the actions he took, the expenses, both in time and otherwise, that he took to be with Raila on issues of AUC chairship. If we have to tell the truth is that he was not interested in Raila's being the AUC chair. And even if he was interested, that could count for 90%. What was important to him is that the 99% was be very close to Raila, so that the next elections, when they come, the elections that for his second term, Raila's people remember him. It is nothing to do with the interest of Raila. It is nothing to do with the interest of African Union or even Kenya. Sakaja did what he did because of three people: Sakaja and Sakaja only. He never did it in the interest of any other person, only him and how he would be re-elected for the second and final term. That is why he went the extra time to campaign for Raila. Before that, Sakaja had gone to see, you see, he's a Kenya Kwanza governor. But for his own survival, he crossed over and befriended the ODM MCS, not because of anything or whatever. It was just because he wanted a peaceful stay. The only principle that Sakaja has that is for himself, it is for himself to stay comfortable in the governor's seat now and in future. Nobody, he may pretend to you that he's interested in your issues. He may try to do what, but this is proof enough that he does everything that he does for only he himself. We can now see, if you compare the governors who are educated and whatever, we have come to prove that education is not a yardstick, since he is one of the better educated people, but he's performing worse than even those whom we think they are illiterate. Let us look at the way he handled the issue of Parklands. In Parklands, there was an issue, and I don't know, you know, for some of us who did the government inspector, you know about this district education officer who talked to the mayor. He said that some of this, he doesn't understand how educated people reason. He said some educated people reason worse than illiterate people. Because he was, those of us who have read the government, you can also read it, it is there. He says that there's a time he advised a head teacher on issues to do with how he would make the school look better when as they were waiting for the government inspector to do. But somehow this education officer, I mean, somehow this head teacher, instead of talking to people in a disciplined way or whatever, he took a chair, passed it over the head, broke the. So he was saying nobody even understood the message he was saying, and he was trying to say that some of this education also makes some people be this crazy. I'm saying so because I'm trying to understand. Let us take it this way. Nairobi County has an electricity bill. Let us not even ask ourselves how that thing came. Some people say, I don't know, it is the street light bill or something. No, let us not even ask that. The, the county government is supposed to pay Kenya Power for certain electricity. It has a bill, isn't it? On the same time, Kenya Power is supposed to pay the county government some money for service charge. For some of us who are less educated, me, by the way, I'm a Form 6, but for some of us who are less educated, we can just tell people, Kenya Power, you can sit on this side, and Kanjo, Nairobi County Government, you can sit on this side. And then we sit down and agree. Because basically, there is a certain amount they agree. For example, the one is supposed to pay the other one 700 shillings. But the other one says, no, it is 500. So why can't we clear the 500? We say, okay, let us agree it is 500. Now it is upon you to justify the 200 on top, isn't it? Okay, they say 500 shillings or even 500 million. The second thing is, I don't understand, and you see, I'm a mathematician. You get old sometimes, that is when you remember uh, you are a mathematician. In primary school, I got a B plus in maths. In my CPE, I got a B plus. In my Form 4, I did both mathematics, alternative S, and additional maths. For those of you, I'll use this opportunity to teach you a bit. For those of you who may not understand what mathematics, alternative S, and additional maths are, is that the government has decided to make mathematics compulsory on all senior schools. The government has decided mathematics has to be compulsory on all senior schools. So, those people who are taking subjects such as humanities, or what we used to call arts, or those people who are taking technical subjects like TVETs, you have to do maths, which is alternative S, which is alternative simple, which I did in Form 4. But those people who are doing STEM, they are going to do what we can call it additional maths. So what I'm trying to tell you, Nasiringi, Nasiringi, what I'm trying to ring a bit here is to say that I did double maths in Form 4. And in Form 6, I did maths, camp. It used to be called camp, Kenya Advanced Mathematics Project. So I'm a mathematician. And I also did economics in Form 5 and Form 6. Now, what I want to say here is, okay, let's go back. If Sakaja or the county government is saying that Kenya Power is supposed to pay them so much, and Kenya Power says, and you owe us so much, why don't they sit down and agree the amount, isn't it? First of all, there is agreeing to disagree, then there is agreeing to agree. They can agree at the basic amount. Then they say, okay, let us pay the lower figure, and then the other figure we can calculate and we can debate, both through an arbitrator and also through the courts. When they say that, we come now with a small figure there. We say 500 million. Unless I'm not a mathematician, and unless somebody is trying to reason somehow, why should it be at the end of the month? Kenya Power gets money from county government, and county government sends money to Kenya Power. I don't see how that reasoning is. If you sit down and agree, Kenya Power, it's like you have my 20 shillings and I have your 30 shillings. Why should you give me 20 shillings and I give you 30? Why don't we just sit down and say, agree on certain aspects? When we agree on certain aspects, we come to prove that the lower figure is 20, isn't it? Then we say, I pay you the 10 shillings on top. Simple, simple. But you see, we have lawyers, we have people. If you calculate something simple as that in 5 minutes, then you'll not have justified your pay. Why don't they just agree on that? Another thing I want to talk about today, before I talk the last thing, registered voters in Nairobi. I am talking to you individually. You who is registered as a voter in Nairobi. Even thinking of voting for him, for Sakaja, that one should be treated as treason. If MCS don't impeach him through the Senate and so on, why can't we wait until that time? And all registered voters in Nairobi don't vote for him. Apate kura chache sana, hata afadhali MCA. Let me tell you one thing. You who is planning to support Sakaja in the next election, you are Nairobi's worst enemy. Even if he gets 5 votes, those 5 people are Nairobi's worst enemies. Lastly, as I said, let us talk about Nairobi. Nairobi is really what we call one term. Sonko, no, the first governor was Kidero. First governor was Kidero, just one term. He was removed by his senator, who was Sonko. Sonko was removed by his senator. Could it be possible that Sifuna would remove him? But anyway, people will remind me that I'm a Bukusu. All in all, I'm a Tachoni, Sakaja's tribe. But Sakaja, even though he's an Elgon, although he's a Sabaot like me, is not fit to be the governor. He's lucky. He has been a nominated MP. Yeah, life has all been good for him. Let him retire and look into other things. Politics is not everything.